Hello everybody, welcome to Bad Big Games, where we talk about all things PlayStation and games. I'm your host Joseph, and today we're going to be unboxing and giving my very first impressions of the Astro C40, Astro's first attempt at a modular controller. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, Future Joe, start the show. Now, before we begin, I gotta lay the ground rules for how these unboxings work on my channel. Everything is already out of the box. Watch, I can toss this. Not too much of a care in the world. Because everything's already out, I'm just going to show you all the important stuff, all the cool things that come inside. So with that, let's get into it. And first things first, the sleeve. It looks lovely. Presentation is on point. Let's turn it around. Whoa. This thing's compatible with the PlayStation 4. Who knew? Here's everything you're going to get in the back of the box right here, what this controller is capable of doing. It looks pretty dope. Let's see what it looks like on the other side, and it's just a picture of a controller. So let's break out the magical whale and let's open this bad boy up, shall we? Oh wow, movie magic. Let's get the whale out of here. Look at that. The box is actually a pretty dope looking box. You see the share button, the tab, select, all that beautiful stuff. The box is actually pretty high quality cardboard, and yeah, it looks pretty sick. Let's see what the next portion of this box has in store for us, shall we? And then you're greeted to this really awesome carrying case. It's really solid, awesome design. Let's knock on this, see if anybody's home. Hello? No, it doesn't seem like anyone's home. Anyway, let's open this up. Let's see what comes inside. Where did the controller go? Was it you, inconspicuous whale? I don't trust you one bit. Nonetheless, though, when you look inside, we're going to see a USB dongle. That's what makes your controller wireless. Come on, guys. It's 2019. I don't know if this is like a Sony thing, but God, I hate dongles. They're just the worst. And then you see you have replaceable thumbsticks that you have as well. That's actually pretty dope. You get concaved sticks if you want them. Got a replaceable one right there. And then you have this little toolkit. Come on, you fat-fingered fuck. There you go. And then you have this awesome tool. This is what's going to open up the controller to replace all the parts inside. It's pretty dope. Don't lose this. And then we move to the cable, which is just one little small gripe, is that this cable, first off, the length doesn't concern me. It's more so that it's a micro USB cable. I'm paying $200 for this. I don't care if it doesn't do much. Could we please put a type USB-C in that wire, please? But with that, let's get to the controller, shall we? And here we are. The controller itself. This is super impressive. This is super nice looking. This controller looks like it just jumped out of 2016 Doom, is the best way I could describe it. And it looks really awesome. It has all the PlayStation fixins you would see on a PlayStation controller, right? You got your PlayStation button, you got your share button, you got your touchscreen, you got your start button. So let's turn this around. Let's see what's on the other side. And here's the back of the controller, which is really nice looking. Kind of resembles an Xbox controller from the back, if I could be completely honest with you. You got your buttons, your side buttons in the back. You have an awesome grip, which I hope the glue doesn't peel off like it did with my Elite controller, but that's neither here nor there. And then you have these switches in the back here, and what it does is it actually controls the movement of your controller, so you can go all the way down here or push it up, and it only goes halfway. It's actually pretty helpful. So let's see the top of this controller. At the top of the controller, you got your L2, your L1, of course. You got your R1, your R2, of course. And then you're going to see the biggest thing is that there is no light bar. So you can't use this in VR. You got a couple of mode switches here. And then you also you can switch it to Wi-Fi, or you could switch it back to a wired connection, which is pretty cool. So with that, let's take this thing apart and show you what you can do with this controller that makes it so expensive. And this is why you pay the big bucks. It's completely modular. Everything comes apart so you can set the controller the way you want to, which is really awesome, especially if you're not a fan of how the analog sticks are. You could just easily switch them out. Now the faceplate right here, the one thing I was nervous about were the screws. They don't fall out, but eventually those threads are going to deteriorate. So, all right, it is what it is. And then if you want, you just place whatever you want in the correct slot. So you just match the red line with the red line on the controller and you just drop it in. It's easy as that. It's kind of like Legos, but even more simpler. It's just bam, pop it in and you're good to go. Here's the last one. Holy shit, this kid's a natural. Bam. All right, he's got it. Look, he's not that dumb after all. And then you put the faceplate on it, and then, of course, screw it back in, and bam. It's easy as that. It only took a few seconds to screw everything in. Again, it's not easy as the drop in, drop out, as you see with the PlayStation, a Scruff Vantage controller or the Xbox Elite controller, but it's pretty nice. So let's get this into my hands. Let's see how it feels. So my initial thoughts holding this controller, is actually really impressive. Most third-party controllers just feel a little off. Again, I've told you before, I like the aesthetic, right? It looks like 2016 Doom. And if you have big hands, I automatically see the appeal in this controller. I have big meaty claws, and man, is this way more comfortable to hold. It gives me like the vibe of the old 360 controller meets, you know, the DualShock 4. So I like the feel of it. It's awesome. Again, I have the layout to where it is on the Xbox and not the PlayStation. So I can't wait. I can't wait to get my hands more on this controller. I'll be honest with you. When I held the Scruff Vantage controller, it kind of felt a little cheap, and I think that's because of the faceplate and also the Scruff Vantage woof. But this so far, I was a little concerned about the triggers, and I'm a little less concerned. It looks like they want you to do the roll with your finger thing that you do with your Xbox One controller. Looks like they want you to do that on this one too. So far, again, very brief impressions, is that I am pleasantly surprised that this thing feels really fucking awesome. So awesome. There you have it. That is the Astro C40 controller. Again, that's the unboxing. That's what you get out of the box. This controller, I'm pumped to get more of a hands-on with it. So hopefully our next video will have a first impressions of should you buy on this controller to see if it's worth your $200. This is a very expensive controller, so it better be freaking worth it. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, and also better have a better battery life than the DualShock. Oh my God. Right? I better not be charging this shit every 3 hours, Astro. All right? Okay. I'm trusting you. With all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody, if you like unboxings like these, should you buys, PlayStation news, a PlayStation podcast called The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players each and every Thursday, well then please hit like, share, subscribe, because here at Bad Baked Games, it's all about the conversation. It's all about PlayStation. And with that, before I end this video, you have any questions you want me to answer about this controller, I will answer them in the next video when we do the should you buy. So please, any comments, questions, put them down below. I would be more than willing to answer them, even if it's like, how did your face get all? Yeah, I know. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody, keep your wits about you and have a nice one.